sideways. Alright, I think it's gonna record vertical. So let's just run with that for for now. Alright, let's put some baits together, shall we? Let's grab some of our printed blanks. We got a whole bunch of them here, a couple different styles. These ones are ABS. This orange and reddish pink transitional color here. Those are ABS. And then these ones here are PLA. This regular PLA plus in the black, and then these ones in this like light, clearish, light slatey blue are actually glow in the dark. We'll see if I can show that. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show that to the camera. Hit the light maybe. Nah, I don't think so. Alright, anyway, but that's glow in the dark PLA. And then this is a type of multicolor rainbow ABS. So we're gonna put some baits together, and we're gonna start that just with super glue. So I got really thin super glue and then some thicker super glue. The thin super glue I use to stick to the preliminary sticking together of the bait and the clamshell like that, and I come back with just a dot of the thicker super glue come into these holes here, and then that's how I glue these little wire line ties in there, just a dot of the glue. And then when I come back and hang these on a wire and clear coat them, and my assumption is that when the clear coat gets in there, it kind of doubles up on that, to hold that in there with the super glue, so you really don't need a lot of it. And so far it's been holding up pretty good. I've broken off plenty of these and to trees and rocks and such on 20-pound braid. So I know doing it this way will hold at least 20 pounds. And if you're using much heavier line than that, I mean, this is a small little bait to be using with 20-pound line. So I mean, that's only a 2-inch long bait. So alright, with that, let's get started. I got some bird shot here. This is bird shot cut out of a 12 gauge shotgun shell. So lead shot, and I take it and I fill it up just 1/2, just like that. And then I take just a little dab of that. Then I take one of the other halves, gotta find the reverse half. I come down, line it up, and squish it together. And normally just like that is enough to get at least it to start to cure well enough where I don't need to worry about it coming apart. Could do that. Hear that it's got the rattles. And then I'll have a little container here and just throw them in there, and then it's off to the next one. So just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Just a dab will do. If you remember back in first grade art class when you were making, you know, your macaroni art for your first grade art teacher, just a dab will do a lot. At least that's what mine used to say. And for these things, I found that to be true. So I wouldn't really worry about doing a whole lot of cleanup work on these. Like, I'm not gonna come back and try to sand the layers line smooth. Um, be perfectly honest with you, I really don't think the fish care all that much. I think the fishermen care a lot more than the fish do about that sort of thing. At least that's been my experience. If you want to go ahead and when you're making your own, I shouldn't have put glue on that one yet. If you're doing your own and you find that you want to spend that extra time to make it look real extra pretty, go on ahead. I'm not gonna waste time to do that though. It's a whole lot of time spent for not that much return on investment, if you ask me. So we're gonna go ahead and get that one, and I'm just waiting for it to tack up, and I kind of run my fingers down the sides here. Super glue cures with moisture. That's why it cures so well to human skin, is because it's taking the water out of your skin and using that to cure. So I'll run my fingers on that to get it to cure on the sides, to get it to really stick, and then I put it in here, and you see all this white crap in here. That's all super glue. So what'll happen is, especially on like these ones, these black ones, I bet if I were to leave these sit overnight with this really thin super glue, I bet it's going to get a real a layer of that white cloudiness over the body of the whole bait, and that'll go away. That'll go away when we do the clear coat. The clear coat really, if there's like any ugliness from the super glue, the clear coat will make it clear and have the base color really shine through. So like on this one, I don't know if you could really see it on the camera, but there's some like cloudy, not with this white murkiness right here with the super glue. I expect that's gonna completely go away when we clear coat it. So there's that. No, we actually got some people watching. Robbie's Gaming says hello and ew. I don't know what's gross about it, Robbie, but I appreciate you anyway. So what are we doing here? We'll do one of these ABS ones, and I can show you how the ABS really likes to stick to that super glue. So we'll get some of that in there, some birdshot, and I'll just do a little dot. And the ABS likes to bond like almost instantly. Yeah, see, I had a little bit stuck to my finger and it stuck to this one. So what you got to do is really make sure before you touch that dot together that it's lined up where you want it. So I'm going to get it really nice and lined up there. And I mean almost instantly, like as soon as I touch that together, that thing it's stuck. And you can see there, like this one is a little bit off there, like in the nose. You can really see it. It's maybe shifted to 20 thousandths. It's good enough. It's going to make a perfectly fine usable bait, but you got to really be careful with this ABS, because as soon as that touches that super glue, it bonds up. The PLA and the PETG much more forgiving than the ABS is, but I mean ABS is still a perfectly good usable filament for this. Just something to be aware of. So we'll do another one of these. Do another one of these here. Make sure that's lined up. Push it together, and see, look at that. Like as soon as it's really stuck to my thumb there, I gotta really peel that off. So, and then This will clean up in the clear coat, this little bit of ugliness right here from where my thumb was stuck to it. But yeah, for whatever reason, the ABS just, I don't know what it is, but some about it, it definitely bonds to that super glue a lot quicker than the PETG or PLA. So I'm going to get through a couple more of these. And while I'm doing that, does the chat have any questions? And I'll peek at the chat here as soon as I got this one together to see. This one's going to have a really nice color in the clear coat. That yellow orange out here, it makes a really nice defined outline. And then that transition from like that orange to like a pink magenta here, I really like that, and I think that's really going to pop with the clear coat. So we got any questions here from the chat? No, we do not, and we're down from 3 people watching just to 1. So that one person that's still watching, I appreciate you, whoever you are. And then we're going to go back to some of these PLA blanks. So yeah, what I plan to do with this batch of these ones that aren't the multicolor filament, like this one that's the glow in the dark, I'm gonna make up for the say lack of multicolor in the filament with the clear coat, and I'm basically gonna put pearlescent powders, different colors of pearlescent powders in the UV resin that I dip them in when I go to do that step, so that pearlescence will shine through in the clear coat. Also some glitter flake, so we can make up for some of this just blandness, that blandness there in the clear coat step. So that's the plan. I'm sticking to it. Go ahead and slap that on in there. And the other nice thing about this glide bait, I mean, I've been on live for 13 minutes now. I've already got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 glued together. And I've been talking to the camera, so if you figure, give it another, call it a half hour between all the different steps, putting the hooks on and doing the clear coat. Say half hour, you can make 9 baits. That's 9 times $3 a bait, let's call it, which is cheap anymore. You go to Walmart and you're spending $5 a bait for a hard bait like this, so but we'll call it $3. 9 times 3, that's 27 bucks in a half hour you're saving doing it, 3D printing your own baits. So these baits work. I mean, I fully believe in them. I haven't fished a store-bought lure in probably 2 years. I've been using all my own stuff. I can make literally whatever I want, and it works, and I catch fish on it. Because believe me, if I wasn't catching fish on this stuff, I wouldn't be wasting my time doing it. I've been a fisherman all my life, and been 3D printing for at least 10 years. And really enjoy both hobbies, and I wanted a way to fuse them together, and now here we are, So, that's another thing. For those that are watching live, as I'm talking about that, I've decided I'm going to do a monthly giveaway each month of these glide baits I'm putting together right now. So this next giveaway is going to be announced September 15th for the winner. And how you enter it is you have to just submit a picture to my website. There's a contact us form on the website. Reach out on the contact us page with a picture of a fish that you caught on a 3D printed fishing lure. Doesn't need to be one of my lure designs, it could be anybody's. One you design yourself, one you found on Thingiverse, one your buddy made for you, it doesn't matter. 3D printed fishing lure of some kind, submitted to my website. And the prize is going to be basically 6 of these guys. It's going to be different colors, so you might get 2 of these, 2 of these, and 2 of these, or any of the other colors that I've got. I mean, I've got probably hundreds of these things that I've put together at this point, because I'll just sit down and at my countertop like this, I can print 40 of them at a time on my big printer. I've got probably enough blanks here for, let me think, what's 40 and 28 and 28? That would be 56, and 40 is 96. So I got enough blanks here for 96 baits, and I printed that all out overnight between my different. I'm running on 3 printers. So overnight I got enough blanks for 96 baits. So do the math. I can give away 6 baits every month for let's see, 96 divided by 6 would be 48 over 3 is, what's 48 over 3? Let me think. I know 48 is divisible by 3 because you add 4 and 8 together, that's 12. 12 is divisible by 3. And to remember that shorthand rule to know if it's a fraction of 3, 48 over 3 would be 16. Yeah, 16, because 16 and 16 is 16 and 16 is 32. 32 and 16 is 48. So I got enough for 16 months just off of one night's worth of printing I can give baits away for. So I can afford to do this for a real long time without even selling any of these baits, because this is just how I pass my time. But if you want to buy these baits and you don't want to, let's say you want to buy a handful of them so you can try to catch a fish on it and then enter to win more, I do sell these on my website for 20 bucks for 6 of them, plus shipping. So for 6 of them with shipping in the continental US, you're looking at about 30 bucks. It's going to be a little more than that because it's 10 and change to ship, and then sales tax and all that. But I'm getting all of that one side there. Let's grab a handful of it. 30 some bucks for 6 of them. You're at about $5 a bait, which is what you're going to spend at Walmart. So either you can spend something spend that $5 a bait on something that some guy at his countertop on YouTube put together, or you can spend it on something that mega corporation with you know, a whole host of, we'll say, no shortage of labor put together, you know, somewhere overseas. Not that that's a problem, but you know, that's just the reality of the world. So up to you how you spend your money. I'm just, you know, throwing together fishing lures. Is anybody actually watching this still? Yeah, there's still that one person hanging on. So Graydon Price said hi, hello. If you're still there, if you're that one guy still watching, I appreciate you. I don't know how many of these I'm going to throw together while I'm sitting here. I can do this for hours at a time and just talk. So I'll be doing this for a little while yet. Probably not that long. It's fiance should be home about a half hour, so I'll probably stop when she gets home. Assuming she gets home from work on time, which, you know, who knows? Strong, independent women these days. They do whatever they want to do, and that's fine. I'll just be here with my fishing lures, mumbling away on YouTube to people that may or may not be listening. But that's life, right? Never just keep on talking on the live stream, never really thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just going to keep on going. I'm really not used to this live stream fiasco, and I'm not a hot chick in a hot tub with a bikini, so I'm surprised anybody at all is watching, honestly. What are you guys doing if you're just watching some guy mumble on YouTube about 3D printed fishing lures? Man, what a rabbit hole you must have gone down to be here. You know what I'm saying? But did I mention these ones glow in the dark? Maybe that's why you're here, because you like glow in the dark pieces of plastic, reminds you of your childhood. Maybe that's why. I guess I can't fault you there, you know. I remember my glow in the dark dinosaur just as much as any 12-year-old boy might. 12 years old might be a little bit old for that. You're probably talking more about, you know, between 7 to 10, I'd say, even younger than 7. Boys probably develop an affinity for dinosaurs anywhere from 1.5 years up to, well, I'm almost 30 now. I still think dinosaurs are cool, so. And there's nobody watching now. There is nobody watching now. That's cool. So what should I just mumble on about, waiting for somebody else to join? Oh, there's my dog barking. I'll let her in. Is there anybody here? Yeah, there's nobody here. I'm going to grab a 1/2 Arnold Palmer tape. All right, and we're back. I wonder if you can tell that I'm not wearing a shirt in the video. Oh well. Not like anybody watches this thing anyway. We're just talking away to the camera. Just making our fishing lures and one with the world. What time is it? Let's see here. It is 6:18, so I got probably another 20 minutes yet. Still nobody watching. If nobody watches for the rest, I'm just gonna keep on talking and putting baits together and nobody else shows up, then maybe I'll shut it off. But I figured, why not try giving the live stream a try. And maybe if I could figure out a way to hold the camera so you guys could actually see how I'm doing this, maybe that would be, and you're not just staring at my hands, maybe that's a better content for the YouTube. Alright, let's try this. And I have to be conscious I don't knock the camera over and then you guys have to stare at my fat ass when the camera swings around my direction, but I'll just keep on going here. A little dot of glue. And then this was one thing I learned. You got to put the wax paper down so you can really not make a mess on your countertop with super glue. That is, super glue, it likes to stick to countertops. If you didn't know that, I knew that, but I did it anyway because I do what I do, and I don't apologize for it. Ah, shit. Spilled my BBs. Nobody wants to spill their BBs, because BBs are just little marbles at the end of the day, and you could make an argument now that I've lost my marbles. And from the outside observer, I am just sitting here alone talking to my camera, putting together hundreds of fishing lures, so, maybe I have lost my marbles. What is life? C'est la vie, you know what I mean? I need another half. You know what I could do that would be interesting here? Nah, crap. I need... Yeah, one of these guys. There we go. Flip that around. Stick that together. And there's the bait. Okay. You know what I could do on one of these, really I should do it on two of them, is, yeah, now we're really getting wild here, I can do one of these, be like a duality of man situation, a yin and yang, if you would. Let's do that on two of them. There's no rules here. I do all the whatever, whatchamacallits. All right. Let's check that out. We got ourselves a Harvey Dent Two-Face. That's kind of neat, isn't it? Huh. I kind of like that. I may make I might make more than a handful of those. that's interesting. It's different, you know? Two-face. A yin and yang, if you would. Duality of man. What is life? All in a fishing lure. Get some of our Arizona tea. This podcast has been sponsored by me. You know, I am going to do a handful more like that because I think that's kind of neat. I don't know what does chat think that's interesting? To do it like that. Put them together like this. What do you guys think? The two-face bait. Maybe I'll make like 4 of them like that. I can give 1 or 2 away on the giveaway for the channel. Throw that together like that. There we go. I don't know why I think that's interesting. That's definitely that's an example of something you can do with the a 3D printed bait that you could do with a standard bait, but it's a little bit easier 3D print something like that. So we'll keep on going. Let's see what I got here. Yeah, I like that. You know what? I like that. This one's got a little bit of a breakout here. I'm gonna dunk that in the resin, and it's gonna clog up that rattle chamber. So that ought to help there. Anyway. Nobody's really watching anymore. I'll grab that many more and I'll put together this many more for today. How many pairs do I get here? There's a pair. There's a pair. No more pairs there. And how many pairs do I got here? That's a pair. That's a pair. No more pairs there. So I got another 4. And then I'll start gluing in the line ties. So go ahead and a little dab will do ya. Just a little dab. Pull it together just like that. Want that dry for a minute. dab will do ya. Stick those together. Right there. These ones I need to be more careful with because these are the ABS ones, and they'll just stick as soon as they make contact. Or just about. So don't need a lot. And these ones you want to do your best to get them lined up before you stick it. So that one lined up really good. See, I like that color pattern. I think that's gonna be a good one. We'll do one more of these. And then can move on to gluing in the line ties. And there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Now let's go to gluing in the hook hangers. So I have got that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 30 baits here. 30 baits here ready to be line tied. And we are going to go ahead and do that. See, I really like this. That is cool. You don't see lures. You don't see lures like that. So if that works well, I might make that a special. I don't know. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little bit of this super glue here, and it's kind of like gelled up here. I don't know if I want to do that. So here's what I'll do. I'll wipe that off. Let gel off. And this one's so thin it doesn't the thicker stuff, I don't got much left of the thicker stuff, but the thicker stuff is really better for gluing in the line ties. So you take just a little dab of the thick stuff. Take one of these pre-cut wire line ties and stick it on in there. And that one may be a little bit long, so what I'll do is there we go. Let's try to press it in there. and that ought to hold pretty good there. I don't know how well the camera's going to focus. Yeah, there we go. And it does not take, all the super glue is doing really is tacking it in. And when we go and put the layer of clear coat, it's the clear coat that's really what's holding it in the bait when these are done. So go ahead and put some of that in there. We'll go ahead and put some of this in there. And then there we go. We got our bait. And once that super glue clears up, firms up fully, we'll be ready to clear coat that. And like I said with the clear coat, I don't know if I'm going to clear coat them on camera, but I'm going to put pearlescent powders and glitters and these to really make them, you know, pop, as it were. So we'll do that later. But for right now, I got a handful of these line ties I had twisted up, and maybe I'll show you how I do that here in a minute. Pick through some of these. And if I got another 29 baits to do, I've got another 87 of these things I'm going to need. 3 per bait. 29 times 3. And the reason I know 29 times 3 is 87, because 3 times 30 is 90. And then 3 minus 90 is 87. That's how I did that math so quickly in my head. So, all right, but how I do the line tie, oops, that's not what I wanted. How I do the line ties are, I got this stuff, which is aluminum welding wire, and that's what I use for my wire for these baits. And the aluminum wire, in all honesty, is pretty weak stuff, but it's stronger than 20-pound braid, which is all it's got to be stronger than. It's soft and malleable, which makes it easy for what I'm doing here to put them together, but it's still rigid enough that it's going to perform with all the strength that it needs once we put that bait together. So steel wire of this thickness, I mean, a lot of people might think aluminum welding wire, that's not going to hold up. But like I said, I've lost plenty of these things to trees breaking 20-pound braided line without pulling these eyes out. And I would know if I was pulling eyes out, because a line tie would come out of the bait. And I've never pulled a hook off of one when I've been using these things. So that tells me what I'm doing with them is good enough. And good enough is good enough for me. So if you were to download the CAD file and print this off yourself, maybe you want to use steel wire, but I found this aluminum welding wire works just fine enough. And I've got a whole lot of it that's going to last me a really long time. So, and I see a lot of people jumping on and then leaving right away. So, I think the next person I'm going to try to, that I see join, I'm going to try to interact with and say, hey, what's going on? You got any questions for me? You know, give them a little bit of the Italian, fucking, I don't know, Italian razzle dazzle. Is that a thing? Have I cut off enough of these yet? I don't know. Probably not. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. You got any lure building questions? 3D printed lure building questions? It's just you and me right now, Guy. And I realize watching me cut wire is not the most riveting thing you could be doing on your Monday afternoon. So why don't you help me help make better content, you know what I'm saying? Or not, you know, you can just sit there and watch quietly. And he left, okay. And then all I do is just take that wire and bend it over like that. I don't know how it's not focusing on that. Take it over, bend it, little UV shape. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. You got any questions for me? 3D printed lure building. What do you want to know about it? I can tell you anything. I don't know why I'm kind of talking with a little bit of an Italian accent, but that's just my heritage coming out. I don't normally talk like that. Now we got 2 people. Oh, it's raining viewers up in here. Either of you got any questions about making 3D printed fishing lures? Type away. I can see the chat as I'm doing this. What do you want to know? Or, you know, we could all just tell jokes to each other. What do you get if you cross an elephant and a rhino? You get an elefino, you know what I'm saying? Comedian up in here. What do you get if you cross, well, what do you call a deer with no eyes? I got no idea. How's that? What do you call a one-legged waitress working at the IHOP? Eileen. Oh, what's up? I'll be here all week. Making this a comedy show. While I Make 3D printed fishing lures. I can't pick up that wire. I got too much super glue stuck to my fingertips. Fun fact about super glue. There's a myth that super glue was first used or first made for like gunshot wounds in the military. Well, I don't know if it was ever actually used to treat gunshot wounds in like first aid kits or not, but I do know that the guy who discovered it was trying to make high quality optical lenses, and he was looking for material to make the lenses out of. And he was experimenting with the super glue, which is, I think, like cyanoacrylate or something like that. What's this stuff called? Yeah, cyanoacrylate ester. When it dries, is very clear, and that's why I was trying to use it for an optical lens, but they could never figure out a manufacturing process to actually make lenses out of the stuff because it just stuck so well to everything. And the guy, he was actually like getting really upset with it because he couldn't figure out how to use it for the purpose that he wanted to use it for, and it just wasn't working. And he didn't know that it was actually going to end up being one of the most useful inventions, like the 1950s, when super glue was discovered back in the 1950s. So there you go. So that's called like tool permanence or something. It's a psychological thing where people get stuck with the idea that if they got a tool for something, that tool's only use is for the use it was originally discovered to be used for. So like, and welders are actually really good about not having tool permanence, because I mean, if you give a welder a wrench, just like a monkey wrench, they're gonna use it like a hammer. They're just gonna use it like a hammer. So that's my story. I'm trying to think of more stuff to talk about. Shit, we're getting into an hour live stream here, and I'm trying to think of things to talk about as I'm going through and doing this, trying to think of fun facts. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that the Pacific blue ring octopus, despite being only about 2 inches in diameter, so about that big, has enough venom to kill like at least an adult human? A tiny little octopus can kill a human. And nobody's here anymore. Now I could just sit in quiet and think of stuff to talk about as we're going through it. We got another person joining. Hey, how's it going? I'm bending wire to use as eyelets in these baits. You got any questions or comments for me? No? Alright. Fine, be that way. Forget about it. Forget about it. Hey, Vinny. Forget about it. I'm losing my damn mind. I don't know how streamers do this all day, where they just talk to an empty room into the void. This is like soul crushing. Alright, anyway, I got enough here to go for a little while. I'm gonna take our bait. I'm gonna take our master bait, and we're gonna put a little glue in there. Take one of those eyes pop her on in there. I might have to, yeah, that one's too long for that. This middle one's a little bit longer than the other ones. So this one should be better suited. See, that one went down in there. Perfect depth. It really doesn't want to focus. You guys got any questions for me while I'm making these lures? Mr. Single Guy on the... I'm still watching the chat. Nobody's being talkative. I'm asking questions, trying to be interactive with my audience, but my audience just isn't having it. They are just not having my jovial attitude for lively discussion. Come on. There we go. Right in there, just like that. Now that one's got all the line ties and hook hangers that it needs. Hey, it's Bro Baits. How you doing there? Throwing together some of my glide baits. This is a 2-inch glide bait I 3D print. I've seen you guys pass to like 11,000 subs. Good for you guys. I didn't know I was gonna get somebody famous in my stream here. Go ahead and pop that. That one's gonna be too long. There we go. So I don't know if I showed you guys the glide bait or not. Shit. This little glide bait, I call it the creek glider. And see if I get it to focus. Called the creek glider. It's got bird shot in there for rattles. And this one's ABS. Some like tricolor ABS to get a different color pattern. Where's my glow in the dark ones at? They left. But this one's glow in the dark. I actually glued 2 different colors together, so I got a black PLA and a glow in the dark PLA on that side. And then obviously I got fully black ones and fully glow in the dark ones. So man, why'd my buddies leave me? All right, whatever. Okay, we're just going to keep on going. So how was your day today? The 2 YouTube viewers that I've got, let's talk. How are you? How are you doing? Is your girlfriend treating you well? Does your mom like her? What's going on in life? Let's talk. No? Alright. Hey, one guy watching, how you doing? You got any questions about 3D printed fishing lures? Feel free to ask. You come to the right place for it. Nope. Try again next time. I mean, I talked all about earlier, like, you know, the idea behind this one being ABS and the other ones being PLA, and a little bit why you might want to use ABS or PLA over one of the other ones. Guess I could keep on rambling about the different fucking, I don't know. So one of the things about ABS versus other filaments, ABS is lighter. That one's a long one. I want a shorter one for the nose. ABS is lighter and less dense than other filaments, so you actually get on a 1 kilogram spool, it'll actually last you a decent bit longer than say the filament on a PLA spool will, because it goes by weight. So where the 3D prints are consumed by volume. So there's a lot more volume on the spool than there's a lot more volume of material on an ABS spool than there is a PLA or PETG spool. So when you want to make your money go further, dollar for dollar, ABS is actually a cheaper material per kilogram. So there's that little tidbit of information about ABS. ABS is a lot harder to print with. Like, the only printer I have that I could get to print these things with the ABS across the entire bed surface and fill up the bed was my Bamboo X1C. Because all the other ones, the ABS, just at least in one section of the bed, would want to curl up. And then if one curls up and comes unstuck from the bed, then the whole print gets ruined, because then you got one knocking off all the other lures off the print bed. So the ABS is a lot trickier to print with in that regard than the PLA. I really like the PETGs for this lure just because the PETGs come in that clear plastic. So like if you get the translucent PETG with the clear coat and the rainbow colored filament, you get some really nice effects with the PETG filaments. These ones are going to actually be the first PLA ones that I'm making. So we'll see how the PLA does with the clear coat. I think the clear coat will give it a nice shine to it, enough to make it interesting. But we'll see. I'm going to be really curious when I add that pearlescent. Luna, shut up. When I add that pearlescent powder to it, how it's gonna turn out against this matte PLA. I think it's gonna have some nice contrast and stick out nicely. So I hear the girlfriend getting home here, I might log off my live stream here of building fishing lures.
Huh?
I said I heard you coming home, so I might shut off my live stream of putting together fishing lures. I'm on YouTube right now.
You're live on YouTube?
I got 2 people watching. Can you believe it?
Have a lot more than 2 of us.
Oh yeah, is that right? If what? They can hear you right now, you know. And they both left. They were like, "What? A woman?" No.
Can they see your chest?
No.
Well,
It's pointed that way.
Okay.
It's got 3 likes.
Oh.
3 likes. 3 whole likes. I've been live for an hour and 5 minutes, and I've ran out of interesting facts about 3D printing fishing lures to talk about.
Can't help you with that. I'll be in the next room working out if you want to live stream that.
Oh yeah? Oh, the 2 people are back. Look at that.
Oh.
I'm just gonna keep on gluing together my... Oh, now it's up to 3. It's raining viewers up in here. But yeah, I think with a pearl powder in the clear coat, and against that matte black, it would like a pink, like a translucent pink slate blue powder together in there would look really nice. So, camera over. I'm just doing this from my phone, not one of those gamers. He's got this streaming business all worked out. I'm just a dude in his kitchen gluing together pieces of plastic. And I've got a college degree. I'm just playing with super glue. I don't know what having a college degree has to do with anything, but I've got one. All right. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, type "I can hear you" in the chat. Huh. It says the camera's on. One more correspondence, but I do believe there's times where a woman sure could be a friend of mine. Sister golden hair surprise. I've got one more correspondence, but I do believe there's times where a woman sure could be a friend of mine. It's a good thing I don't depend on this for income, I tell you. Not tell you what. because I would be broke as fuck. And how many more of these do I got? Maybe I will do some of these in well, maybe not right now, but maybe later I'll give these a little time to for the glue to dry, and then I will live stream doing the clear coat. The clear coat is the fun part. When I clear coat them, I hang them from a little piece of wire through the hook hanger. Slip a little piece of wire through the hook hanger, and I hang one from the top and one from the bottom, and then I take it and I dunk it in the clear coat resin and then hang it up basically on like a clothesline for the UV resin to cure. And I took 2 black light bulbs, which are UV, and I replaced them in the lights in that room with the UV lights, and that cures it very, very slowly. Like, it would probably take a week in that room for the resin to fully cure under those lights. But it only takes maybe 2 days for it to cure up enough to where it's just tacky. And when it's just tacky, I can take it outside and put it in the sun for the sun to cure it the rest of the way. And that's how I do that. Okay. How many more of these do I got? Plenty. I already put the blue in. Okay. It seems like with the PLA, it bonded, it dries pretty quick with the super glue. Because I can already see on the matte black ones where the thin coat has kind of seeped out like it does. So maybe I don't need to wait that long for these ones to clear coat them. The ABS ones I could do right away. I'm sure that glue's already cured. It's the pet key ones, it takes a while. This one's not quite perfectly lined up, but it'll be all right. Okay. Just a bit of glue there. Stick that in. And stick that in. Okay. On to the next one. A little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. On to the next one. A little bit. And then we'll just put that in there. Oops. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see. Might need to trim up. Yeah. That'll be alright. No harm, no foul. No harm, no foul. No. That's a little bit long, but it'll be fine. Okay. Ah, fuck. I am a great YouTube content creator. If you haven't entered already, I am doing a monthly giveaways of these lures, because I have got probably hundreds, literally hundreds of these things made up that I want to get out there in people's hands to fish with. So, if you go to my website and submit a picture of a fish you caught using a 3D printed something, could have been the mold to make the lure, it could have been the lure itself. As long as you use 3D printing to make it, it qualifies. When you submit that picture to my website, you can be entered for a chance to win 6 of these guys. And who wouldn't want to win 6 of these guys? Okay. All right. we're gonna go ahead and pop those in and pop this one in. Flatten that one out a little bit and pop that one in. Throw it in with the rest of them. On to the next one. And then go like so. And that's sticking to my fingers. Dang it. Slide that in and slide that in and slide this in. There we go. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2. I need to cut some more wire. Need to cut 9 times 3 is 27. I need to cut 25 more sections of wire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right, now we take them and bend them over. 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 And bend it over. And bend it over. And bend it over. And bend it over. Bend it over. Bend it over. And bend it over. And bend it over. and bend it over, and bend it over, and bend it over, and bend, and bend, and bend, bend. I'm really curious if you guys can actually hear me or not, because so far nobody's reacted to anything I've said. All right. Okay. Now let's put together 9 more. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. And the nose. Okay. Luna, quit whining. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. I'm getting pretty tired. And this will be 30. Come on, if I can pick it up. All right, that is 30 baits all right here, prepped and ready for the next step in about an hour and a half. So I think that's pretty good. And with that, we're going to end the stream. How do I stop the stream?